All right. What is this? February 8th, I think. February 8th. Oh, it's already February 8th. I can barely keep track of time anymore. Like, yeah, I can barely keep track of time. Oh my gosh. This week hasn't been particularly tiring, honestly, but it's been busy. It's been busy. Monday, so I mentioned in the last update that my van got hit. So I'm officially liable. I didn't know if I was going to be liable for it or not. I mean, I kind of did, but it wasn't said and done yet. And you hear about things getting posted on social media with things still in trial and everything. I'm like, is this actually something I should say? That was the bit that I cut out of the last video, under the last update. But I am liable, so my insurance is going to cover the other person's car, which is lame. And this last Monday, that's all I really did. Talk to insurance, call the place that I was going to get my estimate at, go to the place that I was going to get it repaired at, set up appointments and everything. And then just the stress. Uh, it's wild how much just like the stress from like, oh, like how much am I going to have to pay, and where am I going to get the money, and how am I going to deal with this whole problem, right? Like the actual accident itself wasn't a big deal. The real big deal was just like, all right, how am I going to pay for the stuff, right? How much is my insurance going to go up if it goes up? What's how much am I going to need to take it to the body shop and everything? So yeah, just the fact that I'm able to drive Vanessa is a huge thing, because that's just money that I saved in not having to get her towed, not having to take Ubers, not having to get a rental car. Like that was a lot. Like having to pay for all of that on top of having to pay whatever it is I'm gonna have to pay. I mean, I'm gonna have to pay my deductible, but I have a sneaky suspicion that I'm gonna have to pay something else as well. I don't believe it's just gonna be my deductible. If it is, great. If it's not, hey, I'm not surprised. So that's that. Um, but all that to say, yeah, that was Monday. Tuesday was my day off. Tuesday, I just spent all day playing video games. That was a great day. That was a really nice, relaxing day of just chilling out after a stressful weekend of everything that I just said with the money and getting Vanessa fixed. I watched the Rockets game. That was nice. Unfortunately, they lost. Came down to like the second to last and last possession of the game. Um, it was really entertaining though. It's a good game, really good back and forth game. Um, so that was cool. Wednesday I worked. Thursday I worked. Today I work. Or no, Friday I worked. Today I work as well. Today's Saturday, right? There, you know, I forgot what day I was on. Um, Nothing particularly special there. Getting stuff done. I picked up work on Thursday. Normally I don't work on Thursday. But because I have these bills coming up with Vanessa and whatnot, I'm like, let me pick up an extra day, make some more money. And we were really busy that day. So I definitely made some more money that day for sure. Which I'm really happy about because that's exactly why I did it. Like, I mean, you're going to make more working more anyways, but when you make even more than you were expecting, icing on the cake. So normally I would have had a day off on Thursday, which would have given me more time to work on other things. But you know, you get that extra day of work in, and that means that the rest of my time is smaller. So I didn't. take care of as many other things as I normally would have, but I still got some stuff done, so I was happy about that. I went into work with a good mood. I got stuff done yesterday as well, before going into work, so I'm happy about that. Um, working on my logo, working on the logo for the podcast. I've got a few interesting ideas. Just keep doing different iterations, trying this, try that, try this, try that, and eventually you land on the thing that I'm just like, oh, this is it. This is the one. I'm gonna go back and rework the logo that I have for my comedy, not my comedy, but like my open mic slash showcase idea. Um, Still figuring that out. I know I said I want to start an open mic. That's still a possibility. It may just be producing shows. I know I talked about that as well, but I'm rethinking that one. I'm rethinking that one, which I'm happy about. Um, it's like I've got the year, I've got time right now. I can still take my time. So I really want to make sure that they're correct because once I have them, then that's it. Just in the same way that there's my own personal logo that I have on Instagram and Twitter. Like once I put it out there, like it's been out there. I haven't changed my profile pic on Instagram or Twitter in like what, at least at least 5 years. It's been at least 5 years. I'd say it's probably closer to like 7. Yeah, like 2018, 2019. So at least 6, 7 years is how long I've had that logo. And it still works. I still like it. It's still, I'm still content with it, which is perfect, right? So all that work that I put in, it's paid off over the last 7 years, which is the same idea that I have for these two logos, for the podcast and then the shows, is that like once I start them, it doesn't stop. Like I don't stop. It it's gonna keep going because that's how I do things. Um, I'll try things out here and there, but when I undertake something, I undertake it with the intention of doing it for a few years. I mean, Vanessa is exact proof of that. This is 2.5 years in the making. Um, Comedy is exactly that. That's 10 to 15 years in the making. The podcast, same thing, 5 to 10, 15 years ideally. So I understand that there's this mentality right now, just like, oh, just do it, just start, just go, just do it. And I'm like, I don't work that way. I don't. Um, and I know it sounds counterintuitive in this day and age, but I mean, when I think about things and when I think about really aiming for long-term success, you got to take your time. Like it's not going anywhere, in my opinion, at least. Because I continuously think about it of just the fact that comedians and entrepreneurs were successful before the entire technological revolution that we've experienced and are currently undergoing from the last 20 to 25 years, a la the internet and the smartphone. And so, has it changed business? Absolutely. But I don't think that means that the way of doing things before is completely invalid either. I don't think I don't think there's any one solution to any one thing. I think there's just this current pervasive thought as to how it is things should be done, and everyone jumps on board on doing things that way, uh, and it works for them and great, but that doesn't mean that that's the way you have to do things, and it just doesn't make sense to me that I have to be in a rush because, quite frankly, who's rushing me? There's no real rush. Obviously, that's a product of having no kids, being unmarried, and having no real debt. I have no debt. So they're like, what's rushing me? There's nothing rushing me. So I have the luxury of being able to take my time. And that's, I think, honestly, the real mark of freedom is that do you actually have the luxury to take your time and do things right? Uh, and I learned all that when I was building all my furniture and stuff. It's just like you really want to take your time and make sure your plan is correct, your measurements are correct, your requirements are well thought out, and the thing that you are building is meeting those requirements. And then you take your time, you measure the wood, you cut everything to the size that you need everything to be, all the pieces, you cut all your pieces, and then you assemble everything, and now you have a piece of furniture that does exactly what it is that you want to do. That's the bed, that's the hamper, that's the cabinet slash couch that I'm sitting on. It's my fridge, it's the extension next to the fridge, it's my sink, it's the floor, it's the roof, it's the walls, it's these little side panels that I had to cut short to a specific size so that it doesn't hit anything when I have to take stuff out. It's everything. It's the lights, it's the soldering at the points where I had to cut the lights, because you can see right here there's a gap right there, and that's because the lights don't actually curve. They don't do that. They're all like this, right? So I had to cut them, solder wires right there, so that way they go down to one point and then curve and then go the other way. And all of that's taking your time and learning the things along the way and applying the things that you learned in real time, which is not that fast. And then to take that same mindset right now in the pre-planning phase of everything that I plan on doing over the next 3 to 5, 10 years, ideally. Yeah, it's really important. So I want to make sure the logos are good, they're correct, they're up to my standards. Um, and at the same time that I'm doing that, I'm doing all the other planning that I need to do. So, no, I don't want to just start. I want to figure out as much as I possibly can and have contingencies in place for the various scenarios that I can imagine could occur. Because sometimes they do. Uh, like a flat tire with Vanessa. I was like, I need a flat tire kit because chances are I'm gonna have a flat tire. Had a flat tire. Oh, there's that flat tire kit. Or the jump starter kit that I have to jumpstart Vanessa, right? Like that worked out really well because I needed that for a few times when the batteries were dying in Vanessa. Or the fact that I paid for rental insurance with my insurance because I was like, well, if I get in an accident, I'm gonna want to have a rental because if Vanessa needs to get worked on, I still want to be able to get to work. Paid for the rental insurance because I sat down and I thought about it. Lo and behold, got in an accident. Now I'm using that rental insurance so I'm not missing work or spending more money on Ubers to get to work because the insurance is covering the rental. So this whole idea to me of just like, oh, just start and do it. It's like, yes, but think about it a little bit first. It just, I've seen too many instances in my life already where me taking the time to plan for various other contingencies and the potential of those things occurring has helped me more than not thinking about them. So I'm thinking about the logos and how I'm going to use them and where they're going to be used and what do they need to be and everything like that. And taking my time because I have that luxury to take my time. Um, so yeah, I went off on a little bit of a tangent there, but worked on the logo yesterday for the podcast. Got more ideas. Gonna keep doing it, and I'll know when I've got it. That's just how I knew when I got the logo that I have for myself. I'm just like, oh, this is it. Like this is it right here. We're good. We're good. Um, so that was yesterday, and then there's today. Working today. It's been a busy week. It's been a busy week, honestly. It's been a busy year already. Um, but it is what it is. I also talked with my assistant general manager yesterday about starting training on getting that promotion at work, becoming a captain. So going from an assistant to a full captain, which I'm really looking forward to, honestly. I've been there 8 months now, I believe. June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, going on 8 months. Um, and yeah, I think it's time. It's time. So, oh well. That's really about it. That's about it. We're at 16 minutes right now. Um, that's me. That's my life. That's where I'm at this week. Next week, Vanessa's gonna get worked on. I'm gonna be in the rental. I'm dropping her off on Monday. Um, I imagine she's gonna be in the shop for at least a week. You know, so I need to figure out what I'm gonna do. How am I gonna do it? And whatnot. But all in good time. All in good time. All right. Well, that's enough of me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. God bless. Like and subscribe to the video. You're amazing. All right.